Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the time I shot Jeff Beck. It was part of my Resonators project where I was photographing as many guitarists as I could track down and who were willing to be part of the project. And Jeff I had met before, but only when I was a girl really. My mum used to have quite fabulous birthday parties in the 80s, and a whole host of interesting characters came down to that, and there was even a jamming stage. There used to be some very cool impromptu gigs, which, to be honest, I'm the best sleeper ever and I've always wanted to go to bed at about 8 o'clock, so I was too young to really know what was going on at these sorts of events. But yes, that's where I'd met Jeff in the past, and when I made contact with him he was on the road with Brian Wilson, and he agreed to be part of the project, which was brilliant. So he was going to be in London, and he's got a flat just off Westbourne Grove, a sort of top floor flat in a very old Art Deco-y type building. I remember loading my equipment in. I always take everything just in case, you know. It's as my husband says, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and look for it. I think that's what he says anyway. Yeah, so I was loading all my equipment in, and as it was on the top floor, had to get in the lift, and there was this tiny creaky little lift that was only big enough for probably about 2 grannies or 1.5 people. And by the time I got up to the top floor, I could hear this beautiful wafting of violin sort of making its way down the stairs. When I was greeted by Jeff, it turns out that he had a violinist called Lizzie Ball rehearsing with him that day, and they were waiting for another musician to arrive. And really, you know, the flat itself was very small and full of equipment, and obviously already 2, possibly 3 people and me and all my equipment. But, you know, this is it. While I was doing the project, because it was a personal project, you know, I was very aware that, you know, these people, these musicians didn't have to be part of it. So his time was quite precious and pressing that he had to get on with other things. So I brought my trusty black backdrop and threw it up to try and sort of create a bit of a studio atmosphere in the flat. And I was focused on, well, I'm always focused on trying to get a natural shot, sort of going behind the mask of what the public profile could be, and trying to sort of go a bit deeper. And I think from what I'm told, you know, it's quite rare that Jeff smiles in well, you know, I'm sure he does smile and have a laugh, but generally the persona is he's quite serious, and he's just this incredible artist. And it was really lovely to get something where he does look quite relaxed and quite soft almost, and very natural. And we did quite a few different setups. You know, he had a front room, like I say, it was full of equipment, and a tiny little balcony looking out on sort of, you know, Westbourne Grove and Notting Hill area. But you know, sometimes you can't really make something happen. There's just not enough room to move and maneuver. But we did a few different little setups and him playing, and then I've got some of him really laughing, which I've made into black and white prints. And yeah, it was just I was really pleased with how it came out, and you know, just nice to be able to capture maybe that slightly softer side of a very well-known persona. So see you next time.